Number 5 is Tessa Sinkneck. Number 7, Sarah Goodrich. Number 8, Megan Hollander. Number 12 is Anna Hansen. Number 13, Alexa Loftus. And number 15, Taylor Curtis. Now our early non-starters for the Iowa Central Tritons. Number 4 is Olivia Wilson. Number 5, Delaney Spinks. Number 6, Anna Tay. Number 9, Devin Scott. Number 10, Emily Tufts. Number 12, Carol Santos. Number 14, Bailey Johnson. Number 16, Easton Swanson. Number 17 is Keely Anderson. Number 18, Sydney George. Number 20, Alicia Johnson. Number 22, Darlene Okinaka. Number 28, Casey Golub. Number 31, Carly Eckert. And now here's the starting lineup rotation. First for once again the visiting Trojans from North Iowa Area Community College. Number 2 is Bree Powers. Number 6, Kennedy Meister. The libero is number 31, Kayla Lentz. Number 10 is Becca Steffen. Number 11 is Shelby Preston. Number 18 is Sarah Kimberly. And number 19, Brady Wood. Chris Moran is the head coach for North Iowa Area Community College. Now here's the starting rotation for your Iowa Central Tritons. Your libero is 5'5" sophomore from Waverly, number 2, Taylor Bieneman. The 5'10" sophomore from Stockton, California, number 8, Amaya Finley. The 6'2" sophomore from Lawrence, Kansas, number 13, Abby Stewart. The 5'5" sophomore from Urbandale, number 15, Katie Gottfriedson. The 6'1" sophomore from Meridian, Idaho, number 23, Taylor Lai. 5'11" freshman from Omaha, Nebraska, number 26, Haley L. Harthy. And the 5'8" sophomore from Fort Dodge, number 33, Hannah Haas. Trying to led by Sarah Horn, assisted by Lacey McLaren, and assisted by Stevie Primo. We ask that you all now please rise and join in tribute to our country. As the Tritons own Taylor Lai leads us in the singing of our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, no bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Triton Nation Network, as we have the number 8 Iowa Central Tritons, who come in 7-1 in conference and 12-1 at home, and with a 31-5 overall record, going up against NIACC Trojans today, who come in at 30-8, 7-1 in conference, and 4-2 on the road. Sean, what do you think about the game today?
Well, from what I was seeing in warm-ups, both teams look they came ready to play. They all look loose, pumped, and motivated to get this win.
Now it is sophomore night, and if we did forget to mention, this game tonight is for the conference championship. Both teams come in at 7-1 in conference. So look for a big, big game today, as both teams are going to be pumped and wanting to win conference. You know, Nayak wanting to pull off, I shouldn't say the upset coming in ranked lower, but, you know, it's very well possible tonight. But expect very, very good play here today.
Yeah, like how you were saying, Nayak's looking for the upset, but they're having that underdog mentality, even though they shouldn't be having that underdog mentality. They're just going up against a really good Iowa Central volleyball team. So this is going to be interesting.
Now all sophomores except for one out there for Iowa Central right now, as it is sophomore night. You have Bieneman, Huss, Finley, Light.
Here we go. Failed serve by Nayak right there.
O'Harthy back to serve. See right there, Stewart. Stewart is really, really tall, as you can see. Like the Iowa Central team is very, very, very tall, as you can see out there. But Stewart and O'Harthy come in averaging 1 block per set. So I mean that's very good.
She's got to use those inches to her advantage.
Good block there by Nayak.
Nayak setting it up.
Yeah, there's Stewart with that block, like we just said. Stewart does come in averaging 1 block a set. I'm not sure if she leads the team in blocks or not, but it'd probably be close, as you've seen year in and year out from her.
She's already averaging 1. She's already got 2
Yeah, already 2 this set.
Fast.
Johnson back to serve for the Tritons.
You just hear the crowd going crazy. As you can see, it is very packed in here.
It's a clean serve over the net. Finley with a spike. Now, I do have to mention, Finley does come in second in the country with 539 kills on the season.
Make that 540 after that one.
Yeah, no kidding. That was ridiculous. Finley doing what she does best. Johnson back to serve again for the Tritons. Stewart with the massive block right there at the net for the Tritons. You also did see Bieneman diving, and I don't know if you can hear. You could probably definitely hear it from down there, but up here this crowd is crazy, and it is ready to go, as you heard there.
Bieneman just saved 2 of those on that possession back there.
Yeah, they were ready for that. Finley's really known for trying to push it over, but then she just comes back and uses all that force she has with her left arm and right arm. I've seen her do it with both all year long. So
it's almost as if they can use her as a decoy a lot of the times.
Yeah, but you also want her on your offensive end if she comes in with 540 kills on the season. So Triton's up here in the first set. Violation on the Tritons. The point will go to Nayak.
Nayak ball right here. Will be serving.
Serving for Nayak is number 11, Becca Steffen.
Failed serve right there.
Yeah, the serve goes into the net. That will be a point Tritons.
Nayak's got a little bit of nervousness, I think.
Yeah, I think coming into this crowd, I mean, as it says, Iowa Central does have a 12-1 record at home, and that only loss did come to Cowley, who is ranked pretty high in the rankings right now. So
that home court advantage is really coming into hand.
Oh yeah,
I can feel the rumbling where I'm sitting beneath me.
yeah, I know. I mean, we're up pretty high here, and you can hear the fans rumbling down there. Finley served that over for the Tritons.
Set it up.
Hey, there's Stewart with another block. Anderson serves it over. That will go out of bounds for a Triton point.
Stewart nearly has 4 blocks. No, she has 4 blocks this set.
Yeah, 4 blocks this set. She does come in with 1 a set, so she is well over her average for this set. Served by Finley goes over the net. Nice block by 18 there for Nayak, and that is Sarah Kimberly.
Here comes Nayak with the serve.
Meister back here to serve for Nayak. Bieneman, Johnson, Anderson. Nice spike there by Anderson. You know, having a Maya Finley and Anderson both there, Anderson does come in 5th in the country with 511 kills. I mean, you have 2 top 5 players over there for Iowa Central on kills, so they do look to get their offense going here pretty fast with both of them.
It's like a double-headed monster.
Yeah, almost. Bieneman with another nice save.
Ooh.
Yeah, good save by Nayak there. Meister getting it over.
Here's the spike.
O'Harthy with the spike. Just out of the reach of Anderson right there will be a point for Nayak.
I believe there's a little failed communication right there.
Yeah, it almost looked like it, a little bit of failed communication there for the Tritons, but I mean you don't see that too often with these guys. So Finley to Johnson, Johnson to Anderson. There will be a violation on the Tritons. It will be a point Nayak. It is 9-5 right now for the Tritons. Bieneman to Johnson. Johnson to Anderson. Anderson with a spike. Finley in their back row there. Johnson. Anderson with a spike again. And Nayak is going to get called for a double hit. The ball did go in between, and it did knock on Nayak there twice. Right away here, you're seeing Johnson and Anderson looking to connect a lot right here in this first set. I just called it 3 times right there in that just possession right there. So
Iowa Central came ready to go. Block.
Nice block at the net. Alharthy is another one of the Tritons that comes in with a set, and there you see it again with Alharthy, a massive block right there to give the point to the Tritons.
Block party. Here we go.
That's what it seems like. I mean, with this height for Iowa Central, you do see a lot of blocks. Gosserson just had the serve for Iowa Central. Finley to Gosserson. Over to Anderson. Anderson blocked to the net, but that will go out of bounds off of a Nayak player for another Triton point. Nayak will call a timeout. Now, Sean, the crowd is playing a big factor, and Iowa Central is pumped up. What do you think Nayak's trying to do with that timeout right there?
I think they're trying to settle themselves down. I think the pressure of the opponent they're going against with the height of Iowa Central and the energy of this crowd, they need to find a way to neutralize that from affecting their play. And with that crowd, Iowa Central is just feeding off it.
Yeah, they definitely are, as they are up right now 12-5 with this timeout with 40 seconds left in this timeout right here for Nayak. Iowa Central, like Sean said, is feeding off of this massive crowd. I mean, this is one of the bigger crowds that I've seen out here. I mean, doing volleyball, so
it's going to be interesting to see what Nayak comes out after this timeout.
Yep. Out there for the Tritons right now is Gosserson, Bieneman, Finley, Anderson, O'Harthy, and number 23 is the last one out there. That is Taylor Light. Gosserson with a serve here for Iowa Central. Bieneman with another save. Gosserson over to Anderson. Anderson trying to spike it in. And that will get in. I mean, Anderson and Finley, a two-headed monster like you stated earlier. It's just ridiculous for opponents like Nayak to try to stop him. So how do you think the game plan towards them?
If you got the height, you got to get in front of them. But so far, they got no answers.
Yeah. was a point for Nayak right there. Back to serve for Nayak is number 2, Bree Powers. Beat him into Finley. Finley to Anderson. Anderson's spike is over. Anderson with a nice save. Beat him with another save. Goffson gets it over. Oh, and a nice finish right there by Nayak. I believe that came by number 5 for Nayak, Tessa. Nayak to serve again. That is Power still back there to serve for Nayak. The serve is over the net. O'Harthy with the spike, and she puts that down with authority. Point Iowa Central. How big of an impact, Sean, do you think that the height for Iowa Central is going to play in this match today?
Big time. It's gonna have like I said before, they're feeding off this momentum from the crowd, and they've been coming off a good regular season, so they're proving that they want to be the champs of the conference.
Yep, this is the last regular season game for the Tritons. There is that crowd again getting fired up after that spike for Iowa Central. Huss back to serve for the Tritons right now. Serve goes over. Huss. Gotchson almost nice awareness right there by Gotchson just to see the small part of the corner open there and her to get it over. I do believe the Nayak player did get a hand on that, but it did end up going out of bounds.
Yeah.
Huss back to serve again for the Tritons. And Nayak trying to feed their best player right there, Kennedy Meester. You know this game's very important when Iowa Central has 2 of the top 5 players in the country coming in and kills. But on the other hand, Meester for Nayak comes in 4th. So, this is going to be a big game. A lot of heavy hitters, should we say. I mean, as this is a ranked matchup, and this is for district, or conference championship. So this will be a massive game here today.
I've noticed that Iowa Central's came to the game plan and altered their way of play. They know who their best players are, and they're going to continue to get the ball to them.
Yeah, exactly. That will go out of bounds for another Triton point.
Now the score is 18-7 Iowa Central with a commanding lead.
Yeah, another timeout by Nayak here with Iowa Central starting to build off that crowd and a demanding lead. Not to say to worry about this, but some people could have thought that Iowa Central was going to come into the game today, a little relaxed, not ready to play because it is sophomore night and they are at home and they do have that tremendous home record. So, but they are coming out today and showing that they're ready to play and ready to go. So, do you think Nayak in this timeout is trying to stop the momentum that the Tritons have built on?
For sure. They're trying to do what they tried doing the previous timeout. They got to find a way to neutralize the crowd by building momentum. And you do that by getting timeouts, causing Iowa Central's momentum to come to a stop. And they got to get some scores here.
Yep, neither team taking the full timeout there. Now, Iowa Central does have a lot of fans in the stand today, but you can look out there and see quite a few Nayak fans as well. Fans for Nayak making the trip down here to Iowa Central today.
That shows how intense, how important this game is.
It exactly does. This being the conference championship game right here. Huss serve is easily over. Nice. Ooh, never mind. I thought that dropped, but it did not.
Ooh.
That was a nice save by Beanham to stretch out on the floor to save that.
From up here, I thought it was.
Oh yeah.
It was done.
Finley. They're going to call 2 hits on Nayak there. It will be a point for the Tritons. Huss back to serve again. Huss serves clears.
Blocked.
Yeah, like we said, there's a block party going on in this first game of the set here. You know, Harthy with her second, I believe, in this first set. Stewart's got 4, so 6 blocks total in this first set by the Tritons, using their height to a big advantage. Bieneman, Finley gets it over. That will be out of bounds. A point for Nayak here. Oh, they called a violation on Nayak, I believe.
Iowa Central is up by 14 now.
Yeah. Huss to serve for the Tritons. Huss serves, clears. Huss. Gobson. Nice recognition by number 23 right there for Iowa Central. That is Taylor Light. To see the opening right there in the middle of the court, just for her to like give it enough touch to get it to land in there.
You could say she sees the light open on the court.
Yeah. Bieneman to Godson. Godson to Harthy. Oh, Harthy's kill will drop. That will extend the Triton lead even more.
I swear, all these Iowa Central players have smoke coming off their hands.
Yeah, I mean, they are off to a hot start, and you like to see it. I mean, even the players that don't get in very often, the bench sitting over there, they are hyped up just as much as this crowd is tonight. Bieneman to Gobson. Gobson to Finley. Finley. Bieneman with another nice save. Huss gets it over. Huss.
Ooh.
Oh, Bieneman and Gobson just trying to dive for that. I think a little communication as you saw Huss and Gobson running there in the back line.
You gotta like the hustle though.
Yeah. The hustle is here for the Tritons. They know this is a big game and they want this game really bad. Nayak with the serve. Finley to Gobson. Over to Light. Oh, Harthy with another block, but that will go out of bounds. It will be point Nayak right now. Your score is 23-9 for the Tritons. 2 more points, and the Tritons will get set 1 of this match. Number 10 for Nayak back there to serve. That is Emily Tufts. Finley with an aggressive spike there. Nayak finding just the edge. That is Meester for Nayak. We mentioned her coming into the game. She is a very good player. She's the kind of do-it-all player for Nayak here. I mean, she does, like on her team, she has 525 kills going into this game, and the next closest person has 239. So I would say they run a lot of their offense through her.
She's definitely the utility player.
Yeah, I mean, she also leads the team in digs with 507. So, I mean, she really is the do-it-all player here for Nayak.
Heart and soul.
Tufts with the serve. Bieneman to Gobson. Over to Light. Light wanted a I think a net violation right there on Nayak to be called, but nothing was called there.
This is what Nayak wanted. They're starting to build some momentum right here.
Yeah, they're really cutting away at that lead for Iowa Central right now. No, there's a nice block by Nayak, but it will go out of bounds for a Triton's point. Triton's 1 point away from winning game 1, of the set.
You got Olivia Wilson right there.
Yep, coming in for the Tritons is number 4. That is Olivia Wilson. She is one of the 13 sophomores on today for the Tritons. It is sophomore night. Finley. Gobson's going to get called for 2 hits there. There will be a point, will be a point in Nayak. Bieneman will come in for Wilson. Wilson will sub out. Nayak back to serve. Back to serve for Nayak is number 31. And I do not have a name for number 31.
That's the set right there.
Tritons win set 1, 25-13. Sean, what did you see in that first set?
Iowa Central came ready to play. And this crowd is going bonkers. And I don't think I wouldn't say Nayak wasn't underprepared, but they're struggling against this Iowa Central team.
Yeah, I don't think Nayak came prepared for the crowd.
Oh.
The crowd is playing a big factor, I believe, here for the Tritons early in that first set, and they did through the whole set.
It seems like it's been like the Kembe Mutombo has been in here. How many blocks there's
Yeah.
been? People waving their fingers at them. They're like, it's a block party.
Yeah, the Tritons unofficially did have, I think I counted 7 blocks in that first set, so their height playing a big factor. It is sophomore night today for the Tritons, so they do have 13 sophomores. Abby Stewart, Amaya Finley, Darlin Okanaka, Emily Tufts, Hannah Huss, Carla Santos, Katie Gofferson, Shai Carmazin, Sydney George, Taylor Bieneman, and Taylor Light are the 13 sophomores they have on this team. I think you see a lot of sophomores out there and a lot of experience for the Tritons, and I think that's why they've had such a good season this year, is all that experience they had.
I've seen them trying to get all the sophomores in for this game.
Yeah, and I think that's something you'll see too is some of the sophomores that maybe don't play as much, you'll see play.
Mm-hmm. And it's honestly really nice to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it is because it is sophomore night. It's their last home regular season game for them this year. So. Right out there for the Tritons right now is Taylor Bieneman, Amaya Finley, Hannah Huss, Katie Gofferson, Brianna Stewart, and Haley Alharthy.
We even got the Triton out here tonight.
Yeah, I did notice that is the first game that I've been to the Triton's been at, but yeah, the Triton is out here tonight at the volleyball game. Oh, Stewart does exit and Light does come onto the court for the Tritons. Huss back to serve for the Tritons here. Serve clears. Meester gets it over. Finley with an aggressive spike. I think I saw that coming off. I saw that ball in the air and I saw her go up. And I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good news for Nayak. And as you saw there, that was a very aggressive spike. She's been doing it all year.
She ought to yell, flame on, when she jumps up for those things, because that thing is smoking.
Yeah, that came down with some authority. Light. Huss to Gotcherson. Over to Alharthy. Alharthy gets it over. Back to Huss. Huss to Gotcherson. Over to Finley. I mean, see, not that aggressive that time, but you do have to be aware is like she does come down with some force, but what happens when you just have that little hit over like she just had there, you know? You don't know what to expect, and I think that's what makes her so versatile for the Tritons.
It keeps the defenders on their heels.
Yeah, I mean it's almost really hard to game plan for because you don't know what she's going to do. Because if you bring another girl up from the back line to protect the little area you have open, so she doesn't dump it, well she's going to go far on you because she's going to see the back, and it's hard to game plan for her. Light with the spike. Finley to Gofferson. Over back to Light. Light gets it over. Gofferson. Bieneman. Huss. Gofferson to Finley.
There's that float over.
Yeah, she just did that float over right there. Bieneman. Gofferson. Alharthy. Alharthy gets it over.
Ooh.
Yeah, really. I mean, there's Meester for Nayak right there again. You saw her a lot in the first set. You're going to see her a lot all match.
I think the crowd got more packed as that first set ended.
Yeah, you saw a lot more people come in. Number 31 back to serve for Nayak. I do not have a name for her, as she is not listed on the roster.
She'll be known as default.
Yeah. Gosterson over to Finley. Finley gets it over.
She kind of sidearmed it right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, a nice save by Gosterson there. Light. Little really good back and forth right here right now. Huss. Gosterson over to Finley. Finley gets it over. See, just out of the reach of the defender for Nayak.
If you were able to edit attributes on these players, Finley's offensive awareness, 99.
Hey, there's Stewart again with the block. She did unofficially, by my count, I think had 4 in the first set, and there she just subs into the game and comes in and makes a big impact with the block. I mean, she is sitting 6'3", I believe, for the Tritons, so that is a very tall woman down there on that front line.
She goes, no, 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 at that front line, just like the Kimbe Matumbo.
A little miscommunication right there for Nayak, and it will be a point Tritons. O'Harthy back to serve for the Tritons. O'Harthy's serve is over. It will go out of bounds for a Nayak point. Bieneman comes in for O'Harthy. Subbing in for number 11 for Nayak was Shelby Hudson. Coming in for her is number 2, Bree Powers. You know, Stewart using her height right there to elevate. I mean, she doesn't really have as much force as you see from Finley, but, you know, Stewart standing out there 6'3", really can rise up above that net and really send it over. She has time to see where the defense is at.
Very fundamentally sound.
Yeah. Alicia Johnson with a serve for Tritons.
Oh.
Hey, there she is again. She's coming off her 4 blocks in the first set with 2 right here. Quick.
That's more fingers on my right hand. 6 right there.
Johnson to serve again for the Tritons.
Was that Finley with the block?
Yeah, it was Finley. I mean, for her not being the tallest out there, she can get up. You know, and she was helped again there by Stewart. Johnson back to serve yet again for the Tritons. Barely gets the serve over. Nice stop by Huss to Johnson. Finley gets it over. Meester gets it over to Bieneman. To Johnson, over to Finley. Ooh, just out of bounds for Finley, but she did bring that with some heat, and it will be a point for Nayak. The score right now is 8-4 for the Tritons. They did win set 1, 25-14.
You know, that was the right play for Finley, but right play, wrong result.
Yeah. Nayak with the point again. Back to serve for Nayak is number 6, Meester. Finley with a really aggressive spike there again. That will land, and it will be a point for the Tritons. Finley will go back and serve. Anderson comes in for Huss. Wow, yeah, it was a really nice play. That was I don't know if you want to call that a dirty play, but a nice way for Becca Steffen right there for Nayak to realize where the defense was and just to get it over, and you know the Tritons couldn't get there in time to save it.
Smart offensive play. Don't be predictable. Be unpredictable, and they caught the defense lacking.
Yep. Anderson to Johnson. Johnson to
number 12
the
right
spike right there. Yeah, number 12. Santos right there for Iowa Central. She is another one of those sophomores that are playing today. Bieneman back to serve for the Tritons.
Ooh.
Her serve will go wide, and it will be a point for Nayak. That will make the score 10-7 for Iowa Central. You know, Iowa Central not having as much success in the first set as they are in this one, but I mean, I kind of think you see that from Nayak. Just calm down a little bit more in this second set.
As you were saying, Nayak is playing well in this set, because when Nayak had 7 in the first set, Iowa Central was at 23 before they scored again.
Yeah.
So you can see that they've calmed down and they're not letting the crowd get to them so much.
Gosterson with a serve for Iowa Central that does clear. Gosterson to Finley. Finley to Light. Light just gets it over. Bieneman to Gosterson. Over to Light.
Soft hit.
Yeah. Bieneman to Gosterson. To Alharthy. That will be a point for the Tritons. That did, on the block attempt, it did go off of a Nayak player. Katie Gosperson back to serve for the Tritons. Anderson trying to get up and spike that down as it almost came over.
Good block, though.
Oh, hey, nice awareness. I mean, the pass was, I shouldn't say pass, but it was out in front of her, but nice awareness for her just to tip it over without touching the net to get a violation there.
She finally got her play.
Yeah. Looked like she tried doing it a couple times in that set. Sean, what are you seeing in the second set from the Tritons?
They're not coming out as hard as they were in that first set, but I think that's play with Nayak. Nayak's not letting the crowd get to them, and they're not letting their jitters get to them. They don't seem as nervous.
Yeah, you really saw some jitters from Nayak there in that first set. I would assume the coach over there is just saying, calm down. We're still in this game. It's not over with,
Well, I'm sure both these coaches in the huddles are saying, come out and make a statement out of this timeout, get the momentum going. If I was Iowa Central, let's bury them right away. I'm Nayak. We got to get back in this.
Yeah. I mean, neither team really with the momentum here in the second set right now. So, look for Anderson and O'Harthy out there right now. O'Harthy with their height to block some, and Anderson just to send some kills on the other side. And I don't think Meester's on the court right now. That just comes in for Nayak right there. Look for Meester to get going for Nayak. So Gosperson with the serve for Iowa Central. That gets to Meester.
Block.
Yeah, there's O'Harthy with that block. Bieneman to Anderson.
Oh.
Hey. You can really tell from Keely Anderson and Amaya Finley why they come in, top 5, both of them in the country in kills. Their height, they have long arms, their athleticism out there is just off the charts, honestly. It's ridiculous, and, Iowa Central's so lucky to have 2 people that good on the offensive side for them.
Exactly. There's another block. Block.
They did call that out of bounds, I believe, on the Tritons, so that will be a Nayak point. Becca Steffen back to serve for Nayak, number 10. Serve clears. And just a little misplacement by Anderson there. I think she thought it was going to go more outside, and it just kind of dropped on her. So, little communication problem on her. Steffen back to serve again for Nayak. Finley to Gosperson. Over to O'Harthy.
No.
O'Harthy finding the open spot on that defense and send it down with another spike.
You can really see the chemistry with this Iowa Central team.
Oh yeah, I mean when you come in with 13 sophomores, I think there's going to be a lot of chemistry made on this team. Huss with the serve. Meester over to Bieneman to Gobson, over to Finley. Finley's kill attempt is blocked at the net, and it will go down for a Nayak point.
Gotta be pretty brave to get in front of that.
Yeah, back to serve for Nayak is number 31, and I still don't have a name or number on her.
Default.
Serve just gets over the net. Bieneman to Gobson, over to Light.
Ooh, miscommunication.
Yeah,
right
I mean
there.
miscommunication again. I mean in volleyball you can't have the same person hit it back to back. So the little barrel there for Nayak didn't really get out of the way, but a little communication. O'Harthy back to serve for the Tritons right now.
There's another
There-
swat.
Yeah,
Block.
there's Stewart again for one of those blocks. I think we got her for
That-
7.
That's 7
Yeah,
now.
that's
3 in
7.
this set.
Yeah, 3 in this set, 4 last set. Oh, just got in for Nayak there.
Good call right there by the line judge.
Yeah, wait for her to pay attention to see where the ball landed. I mean, yeah, I think it just got that part of the line. Nayak back to serve. Serving for Nayak right now is number 2, Bree Powers. Huss to Gottfriedson. Over to Light. Light gets it over. Nice kill right there by Meester. We're going to call her name a lot for Nayak.
She's the utility player,
Yeah.
like we were saying
Yeah.
earlier. They're going to get her involved all the time,
Yep.
as much as they can.
The score right now is 17-12 for Iowa Central. Huss to Gottfriedson. Over to Light. Light just gets that over. Meester to Huss. Huss to Gottfriedson. All the way over to Finley. Finley's attempt is blocked at the net, and it does kind of rolls along the net there, and just drops in on the Iowa Central side. Will be a point for the Tritons though, as Nayak was the last person to touch that as they hit the pole. Alicia Johnson back to serve for the Tritons, number 20.
Oh, just out.
Yeah, but just out. It will be a point for Nayak. Back to serve for Nayak is number 6. That is Kennedy Meister. Huss to Johnson. Johnson to Santos. Hey, there's Stewart again with another block.
Ooh. The blocks that she's doing is making Nayak very difficult to react.
It is. It's making it very, very difficult to react. She's so tall, saying 6'3" right there, right in the middle of that front line too for the Tritons.
Just lofted it over her to prevent the block.
Santos with the spike over. It's Meister. Meister will send it over with a very aggressive spike. Finley trying to save it there really kind of came up on her, and Santos trying to save it over, but it will go out of bounds and will be a Nayak point. Back to serve for Nayak is number 5. That is Tessa. Stewart. Meister with a nice save there for Nayak.
Just lofted over. There's Anderson right there.
Keely Anderson and Amaya Finley, two of the two-headed monsters, should we say, for Iowa Central.
Monstrous.
Yeah. Sydney George is the first we'll see of her in the second set. She is back to serve right now for the Tritons. Tritons with another point there. Will extend their lead 21-14 in the second set here.
I think this is Iowa Central's biggest lead of this set.
Georgia's serve just got over again. Nice block attempt at the net there by Anderson. Anderson sends it over. Her spike is blocked. George with the save over to Johnson. Santos will send that down low for the Tritons, and it will be 22-14 right now for the Tritons.
Have you ever heard the saying, third time's the charm?
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
For Santos right there. Nayak with this timeout. Iowa Central, like you said when we went that earlier timeout, is that Iowa Central came out and started swinging. They came out and practically punched Nayak right in the face. Nayak not really able to respond. What do you think the timeout is called here for?
To stop the momentum. Nayak got in within 4, which was the closest they've been against Iowa Central, and Iowa Central's been running away with it now ever since that last time out. So I think they're just trying to regroup and see if they can make a comeback before the end of the set.
Yeah, I mean, they really needed to hold the momentum right here. I mean, Iowa Central came out and punched them in the mouth right there after that last timeout they called. So,
I won't be surprised if Nayak continues to avoid blocks from Stewart.
yeah, look for him to go more down the lines maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's a good call too. I expect to see a lot of Meister, a lot more Meister. We haven't really called her name, even though she's the do-it-all player for NIACC, but we haven't really called her name at all. So, maybe expect her to get going. Sydney George back to serve for the Tritons.
And Iowa Central right now is up 22-14. Anderson just tipped it over.
Oh, George with a nice save right there to Johnson, over to Alharthy. Oh, George trying to save it again. You really see these sophomores really laying it all out there. I mean, Biederman's dove for a lot tonight. Harthy's done it. Anderson's done it. I think they really want this bad, knowing that this is their last home regular season game here in Hodges Fieldhouse.
If you didn't see that, they avoided the block right there earlier in that possession.
Number 13 back to serve right now for NIACC. That will go into the net. The serve was by Alexa Lofus. While we've been sitting here, I looked up, and Stewart right now has 113 blocks on the season.
We got 120.
Yeah. Gosserson back to serve for the Tritons. Serve does get over the net. Anderson, well aware right there, seeing that ball come over. Anderson to Gosserson, back over to Anderson. Anderson setting it over. Meister with the save. Anderson, Gosserson, Sydney George. Sydney George really, I don't think she meant to hit that hard, but just the force of the ball coming down. I mean, it went off the NIACC player, not the way she wanted it to, and it will land for a point for the Tritons.
This is essentially set point right here for Iowa Central.
Gosserson, the light over to Anderson. Anderson gets it over. Biederman, Gosserson sends it over, trying to find one of those back corners. Gosserson, Biederman. Gosserson sends it over. Light with a nice block right there at the net, and that will end the set. The Tritons do win that set 25-15. They go up 2-0 right now. 3 minutes before this next set starts. Iowa Central's up 2-0. NIACC down 0-2. You don't want to lose that third set. You don't want to go home and get swept. So what do you think? What do you expect NIACC to come out and do in this third set?
I expect them to come out with some high intensity and smart plays. I think they need to be aggressive, but they need to be aggressive in the right moments.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have seen a little sloppy play, maybe a little bit by NIACC here. It might not be them ready to show up. It might them just being Iowa Central being the better team here today. You can't really blame it on a bunch of things. So I would almost say like NIACC is going to come out and play a lot more sound, a lot more like they're used to, because you don't want to go home losing 3-0.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the conference championship.
Yeah.
But I will say, NIACC did look better that set.
Yeah, they did. They looked a lot better that second set except for that first set.
But they kind of fell apart right at the end.
Yeah, towards the end, I mean, they called that first timeout, and then Iowa Central came out swinging, and NIACC not really able to regroup from that.
They tried stopping the momentum, but when you got the conference championship on the line, it's sophomore night, and this packed house.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I mean, it's just hard for anybody to come in here to Hodges Fieldhouse and win against the Tritons. Tritons do come in 12-1 at home. Mm-hmm. The one loss does come in the Triton Invitational against Cali, who Cali is ranked 6th in the country right now. So
yeah,
it's their one loss does come against a very good team here at home. Now this is the last regular season game for the Tritons here at home. Not 100% sure if they're going to be hosting regionals, but I did think I heard from somebody that they are hosting regionals. Iowa Central will get a home game for regionals, which is huge. Mm-hmm. That home court advantage in regionals, especially will play an even bigger factor here today than it will against the Trojans right now for NIACC.
That'll benefit them very greatly, speaking that they're on pace to being 13-1 at home.
Yeah. We still are unsure yet who they will play for regionals, though. That I do believe they find out maybe the end of this week, maybe next week sometime. Right now out there for your Tritons is Bieneman, Huss, Gosson, Stewart, Finley, and O'Harthy, along with Light.
Here comes Nayak.
Yeah, I think their coach kind of took him out there to calm him down and just to get him out of this environment of this crowd, to really calm him down, tell him that, hey, we're still in this even though we're down 2-0.
I'm expecting a very competitive set right here. You know, they've been trying to get Meister involved, but I think they just need to get her more involved.
I mean, but you can also say that's good game planning, though, by Iowa Central to know where she's at all throughout the court. Because, I mean, they do play her like she's playing up on the line right now. She is on that far side right now for the NIACC and Meister, but she has been on that back line. She has been in the middle. NIACC with the serve. The ball gets over it. It will be out of bounds for a Triton point. The serve right there for NIACC was by number 10, Becca Steffen.
NIACC's already stumbling out of the gate out of this third set.
Back to serve right now for the Tritons is O'Harthy. Hey, there's Meister. Got to get her going if you want to be competitive in this third set here.
Like we said a minute ago, they're going to get her involved.
Yeah. Meister is the one girl for NIACC you do want to get involved here quick, but yeah, it might be a bad thing for Iowa Central. She does start getting red hot. Nice save by Steffens there. Meister gets it over to Bieneman. Bieneman to Gobson. Over to Stewart. Oh, nice block attempt at the far side of the court there by Light and Stewart, but it will just go off their fingertips and roll over for a NIACC point. NIACC up early, big here. I mean, I think this is their first lead throughout all the sets today. So
let's see if they can ride that momentum wave.
Yeah, Iowa Central able to tie it up right there. I mean, Iowa Central getting both their points right now off of out of bounds plays. Mm-hmm. Bad serves there for NIACC. So
those are some bad mental errors
by
NIACC if they want to get back.
Yeah, you really don't want to have any bad mental errors right now because you are down 2-0. Johnson back to serve for the Tritons right now. Meister just gets over. But hey, there's a Stewart with another block right there at the front.
Miscommunication.
Yeah,
right
miscommunication again. I think Bieneman thought that Finley was going to go for it, and then when she realized she tried diving for it, and it did go out of bounds off of her. That will be another NIACC point. Back to serve for NIACC is number 11, Shelby Heston.
If NIACC would have not shot themselves in the foot with those two failed serves, they could have potentially been up 5-0 right now.
Meister with the spike. Back to Bieneman. Bieneman to Johnson. Over to Finley. Finley gets it over. Nice save by Heston there. Yeah, a little communication between Steffens there and the libero over there for NIACC. You have seen the miscommunication from NIACC all game.
Which is weird to think, speaking that this team came in.
30-8, yeah.
Yeah, like you would think they won't be having these mental errors, but I think that comes down to that home court advantage.
Yeah. Santos has subbed in for Huss.
There's another error right
there.
A
little miscommunication. Meister patting her chest there saying that was on her. Will be a point for Iowa Central. Finley back to serve again for the Tritons. Gets it to Meister over to Steffen. Steffen gets it over. Tries to push it in that back corner.
Smart play by NIACC right there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think you can really blame that on Finley because I even think if she wouldn't have hit it, it would have landed in. So Finley trying to save it here. It's a good all-out effort by her. Serve will go into net by Meister, and that will push the score 5-4 for the Tritons. 3 of the 5 Triton points have come off serving errors.
They've done that the last couple sets too. It's just wrecking their momentum and their potential to get back into this.
Yeah, you don't really want the little errors right now if you're Nayak. Santos trying to find that back corner. Stefan finds Meister. Meister's blocked at the net by O'Harthy and Anderson. You know, we haven't really said O'Harthy's name, but she is another one of those tall girls in the middle there. She, I don't know, probably has a handful of blocks tonight as well as Stewart does. So Meister gets it over to Finley. Finley to Johnson. Over to Anderson. Anderson waiting, got enough on that to get it over for Iowa Central, and the point will go to the Tritons. Bieneman is back to serve right now for the Tritons. Bieneman's serve is over.
Ooh,
Oh, there you saw Nayak, Becca Steffen do that in this earlier set too. Nice court awareness by her to see where the Tritons were placed at.
Nayak's doing a good job when they do that, being non-predictable, being unpredictable, and catching the defense last.
Yeah, Steffen almost had her body placed like she was going to set it up and then just put it over right in the middle where nobody was. Oh, Harthy sending that one with some force. That would be a point for the Tritons. Gosson comes in for Santos, and Light will check in for number 20 for Iowa Central. That is Alicia Johnson is checking out. Gosson back to serve for the Tritons. Bieneman to Gosson. Gosson to Anderson. Anderson gets it over. Meister with a nice save to Steffen. Anderson, Finley. Bieneman gets it over. Oh, Finley with a nice save again. Gosson, Anderson gets it over. Oh, nice diving stop there by Nayak. Bieneman to Gosson. Gosson to Anderson. Oh, this spike will just go out of bounds for Iowa Central there.
Great communication by both teams right there in that possession. Like, that point could have went either way at any point in that possession.
They could have. I mean, you saw some really nice saves right there by Bieneman and Anderson, both there on the defensive end. The serve right here coming for number 2, that is Bree Powers for Nayak. Point Nayak, I think they're going to call a net violation there.
It's a 1-point game right now. Iowa Central up 8-7.
Bree Powers back to serve again for Nayak. There's that serve error again.
I think Iowa Central's got a total of 10 points off a serve error.
Yeah.
And about, 4 this set?
Yeah, I think that was the 4th one this set, yeah. Meister with the spike.
SWAT.
It has been a block party today for the Tritons. There is O'Harthy again there in the middle with the block.
It's like a brick wall right there.
I mean, there's been times where I've been covering games, and I've seen her and Stewart in there, and it's just amazing to watch those two.
Little bit of
some miscommunication again. I mean, I think it's been one of the main downfalls today for Nayak is their communication. You know, they've got the serve errors, the miscommunication and stuff, and I mean, it hasn't been Nayak's best showing, should we say, today.
Nayak tried doing that slip hit right there.
Yeah, again.
It didn't work.
There's a nice save by Iowa Central there.
Oh, there's another SWAT.
Finley to Gobson. Gobson to Light.
Ooh.
Stefan, that's her. I guess she didn't get it the first time, but might as well go back to it again. I mean, it's the 3rd time that play, should we say, is dropped for. Second time this set. Number 10, Becca Steffens back to serve for Nayak. Oh, just creeps in there for Nayak. The point will go to them.
I don't blame Iowa Central thinking it was going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, those calls are so close, and you know it's hard to judge when you're out there in the court going, you know, play by play out there. It's
Nayak starting to build some momentum right here.
Yeah, Nayak really is. Nayak is down still 11-10 here, but they are gaining on some momentum.
Like I said before in the set, this was going to be the most competitive set, and so far it's being true.
Yep. Beeneman to Goffson. Goffson to Finley. Finley's blocked at the net. It will be a point for the Tritons. They will go up 12-10. O'Harthy is back to serve for the Tritons. O'Harthy serve gets over. Stefan just trying to save that and get it over. Good job by her. Point Nayak there for a violation.
Again, another 1-point game.
Anderson to Goffson. Goffson to Light. Light's blocked to the net, but she does send it back over.
Good recovery.
Yeah, very good recovery. Hey, there's Meister right there for Nayak. Haven't said her name a whole lot, but she does come up big right there. They are, they've gone to her a little bit more in this third set. You know, she is your best player. You do want to get her going. Anderson to Goffson. Goffson to Light. That will go out of bounds off of Nayak. That will be a point for the Tritons. Santos checks in for Goffson, and Johnson is in for Light for the Tritons. Johnson back to serve for Iowa Central.
Just floated over there.
Beeneman to Johnson. Johnson to Finley. Finley sending the house on that one. Nayak does just get it over Johnson. Over to Santos. Santos is blocked at the net. It will go out of bounds, though, off of Nayak on the block. And it will be another point for the Tritons. Johnson is back to serve for the Tritons. Anderson to Johnson. Johnson to Finley. Johnson. Anderson. Anderson all the way over to Finley. I think if Finley wouldn't have touched that, that might have just dropped in. But Finley does get called for I think a net violation was what they called there.
Had a lot of height on that.
Yeah. Shelby Henson back to serve for Nayak right now. Finley to Johnson. Johnson to Beeneman. Beeneman gets that over. Oh, Beeneman with another nice save right there to Johnson. Finley sending it over. Meister for Nayak is blocked to the net, but it will go out of bounds off of the Tritons. It will be another Nayak point. It is tied 14-14 right now with Shelby Henson back to serve for Nayak. There's that serve error again.
Fifth one of the set.
Yeah, you could really say that was that the serve errors have been a really big key in this third set for Iowa Central. I mean, getting five points off of them right now.
Yeah. Anderson doing what she knows best
Yeah.
right there.
Finley back to serve for Tritons. Tritons do extend their lead 16-14. Meister sending it over. Finley to Santos. Santos back to Anderson. Anderson trying to dump it over, but just didn't get enough on the ball there.
Right play. Didn't go what she wanted to.
Yeah, I think she might have just rushed herself a little bit there, so nothing too big. Meister back to serve for Nayak. Anderson to Johnson. Johnson to Santos. Santos puts that one down with some authority.
They ought to get like a speedometer out here and like check how fast these balls are coming in.
So some of them, I bet if we were out there playing, I'd be like this, trying to protect myself. I don't think I'd be sticking my arms out to save that thing. Some of them come in so fast. It was tipped by Iowa Central and will go out of bounds off of them. It is a Nayak point. Back to serve for Nayak right now is number 5, Tessa Nice save by Meester there. Santo to Johnson. Johnson to Anderson. It will be out of bounds for a Nayak point.
It's tied again, all at 17.
Now you do have to win by 2 in volleyball, so Tessa back to serve again. Beaneman to Johnson. Johnson to Anderson. Anderson finding an open spot in the defense there and sends that down. You know, some of these coming off of Anderson and Finley, they really look like they're traveling almost 100 miles an hour when you're up here at us.
Yeah. So far, this has been Anderson's set.
Yeah. Godfreyson back to serve for the Tritons. Nice save by Hudson there.
Bad communication error right there.
Yeah, and I think Hudson didn't expect it right there for Nayak to drop as much as it did, and she just barely got a piece of it, but it did go out of bounds.
Yeah, it was kind of an awkward hit.
Yeah,
it just went to the right.
Yeah, just one off her. I think she hit it off of her palms wrong. There will be a point for Nayak there. The score is 19-18 for Iowa Central. Powers with the serve. Anderson to Godson. Godson to Light. Light hits Meister.
Tied up again.
Yep, tied up again here at 19. Anderson's kill attempt did go out of bounds there. Powers is back to serve again for Nayak. Anderson to Godson. Godson to O'Harthy. O'Harthy's kill attempt will go out of bounds. Nayak will regain the lead for the second time this set. And
here comes the timeout to stop the momentum.
Yeah,
Nayak.
Tritons did call a timeout there. Nayak was pumped when that timeout was called as they regain the lead again for this set. Excuse me. Nayak's only 2 leads in the whole match do come in this set. You know, they've looked like they've gained some momentum, but not a whole lot. And you know, I think Iowa Central saw that, and that's why they called this timeout. So, what do you expect for the Tritons to do coming out of this timeout?
What I expect them to do is keep on doing what they've been doing. I expect that crowd to get twice as loud right here, because this is pretty much, you know, they win right here, the game's over. So I expect this crowd to get really loud, and I expect them to get aggressive right here.
Oh yeah, this crowd's been playing a big factor all game. Out there right now for the Tritons is O'Harthy, Light, Anderson, Finley, Beaneman, and Gobson. Powers for Nayak is back to serve. They will go out of bounds there. That is the 6th serve error right now for Nayak in this set. You know, I think it's probably the 3rd on Powers there. It does seem like they have her back there a lot to serve. Anderson's serve goes over. There's Meister. It will land on the Iowa Central side. It will be a point for Nayak. And they do regain their lead 21-20. You do have to win by 2. Steffen back to serve for Nayak. Steffen's serve just gets over. Gets to Beaneman. Beaneman to Gobson. Over to Light. Light's kill attempt will drop. And it now is tied.
You hear that crowd popping?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you that if you heard that crowd. When that dropped for Light, the crowd erupted in here. They know this is a big game. O'Harthy back to serve for the Tritons. Anderson to Gobson. Gobson over to Finley. Finley trying to get over. Finley gets it up again. Gobson over to Light. Gobson with another save. Oh, to O'Harthy. O'Harthy to Anderson. Anderson gets it over. Right off of a Nayak defender.
There's that pop from the crowd again. And good communication by Iowa Central right there. And they're rallying back in this game with the lead, 22-21. And now Nayak needs that timeout to stop that momentum.
Yeah, the crowd is really getting into this, and I think Iowa Central is feeding off of this momentum big time. You know, I think the reason Nayak called a timeout here is to stop the building of momentum. that they saw Iowa Central making there. If you're Nayak, do you come out and try to get Meister going again?
I believe they're going to try getting Meister, like you said, get going again. And I think they're going to try neutralizing the momentum from Iowa Central by not allowing their best players to get in the ball. Whether that's like being really aggressive with the ball when you have the ball or whatever.
Nayak might come up to the nets and play more aggressive, trying to block the spikes from Anderson and Finley. Right out there for the Tritons right now is O'Harthy's back to serve. You have Anderson and Godson, Stewart, Light, and Finley are all out there. O'Harthy will sub out. Beaneman will come in as her serve does go into the net. We are tied up again at 22. Nayak with the serve. Serve goes over to Anderson. Anderson to Godson. Godson to Stewart. Oh, Stewart.
Nayak takes the lead right there with the communication errors.
Yep. Nayak does need 2 points to win. It is 23-22 for Nayak right here. Nayak, like you said, was going to come out and play better in this set, and we have seen that a lot. You can just feel that crowd underneath us, beating on the bleachers.
I think the mics are picking it up.
Yeah, the mics are picking it up. The crowd out there. This place just got louder. Beaneman. Nice save by Nayak there. Those powers. Meister with the kill. Godson to Light. That will go out of bounds. Will make the score 24-22. Nayak 1 point away from winning.
There's a timeout by Iowa Central.
Yeah, Iowa Central still trying to stop the momentum. I do have to point this out because I did mention this earlier when I did a broadcast, is that when Iowa Central played in the Triton Invitational, they were down early in a couple of sets, and I can't remember who they were playing, but they called a timeout at the same exact point in both those games. They did come back to win both those sets. So let's see if the timeout does pay off here as you see Nayak gaining the momentum. And, you can just hear the fans from Nayak getting loud right now.
The crowd's doing their part for Iowa Central. They just need to – now Iowa Central, their players need to do their part.
Yeah. Nayak back to serve. Here's that crowd again.
I'm sitting in the booth and I'm getting pumped.
Yeah. Beat him into Gobson. Gobson over to Finley. Finley gets it over. Oh, beat him with a nice save. Anderson gets it over.
There's the communication error right there, and you hear the pop from the Nayak crowd.
Yeah, just some bad communication there for the Tritons as they do drop this set 25-22. Nayak is pumped after that last set win. Do you expect a lot more of the same coming here?
Oh, for sure. They're riding this tsunami wave of momentum. And the crowd's making me laugh a little bit. They're yelling scoreboard.
As they're yelling scoreboard, Iowa Central is up 2-1 right now, so the crowd that's down there, I believe that's the student section chanting scoreboard down there, as they are right down below us.
But, yeah, what I'm thinking is Iowa Central is saying in that huddle, hey, we got the lead right now. Don't let up. We let up a little bit in that third set. We need to gain that momentum back and use the crowd to our advantage.
Yeah, maybe look for Iowa Central to do a lot more of what they did in the first set, where they came out swinging, and you saw that in the second set as well. And I think that really worked well for them. So maybe they get back to that here. Nayak's got to come out and play aggressive, get Meister going, as she is the utility player for them.
Mm-hmm. I think what worked for Nayak's advantage was those little trick hits, when they would act when they would act like they're gonna set it up, but they'd send it over. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I think that's gotten in Iowa Central's head, so they're kind of hesitant to attack or what, or I think that kind of puts them on their heels a little more. That can work for you, or it could work against you.
Yeah, I mean, expect Iowa Central to especially be talking about that, because I did hurt them, I think, 3 times there in that third set. So Iowa Central probably going to be a little more aware of that, as Nayak really didn't do it until the third set, so expect them to make defensive switches. But, as soon as you start protecting that, it opens up more stuff for Nayak to go to. Now, as we did mention, it is sophomore night for the Tritons. They do have 13 sophomores, and I will go over those sophomores once again. Taylor Beeneman, Taylor Light, Shay Carnazin, Sydney George, Carly Santos, Katie Godfreyson, Olivia Wilson, Emily Toofs, Hannah Huss, Amaya Finley, Darlin Okanaka, and Delaney Spinks and Abby Stewart are all 13 of the sophomores for Iowa Central. You've seen really a lot of them play today.
A lot of them are contributing tonight. I've
Yeah,
noticed.
and I mean, you kind of expected that going in with it being sophomore night. Right now for the Tritons is Anderson, O'Harthy, Beeneman, Stewart, Godson, Finley. And number 16 for Iowa Central, I don't think she's been in yet. That is Emma Swanson.
I'm going to take a bold prediction right here. As much as momentum Nayak has right now, I think Iowa Central is going to really shut them down this set. They're going to show them we're in our home court, and they're going to show it and why they're the better team. I think Iowa Central comes out swinging right away.
Yeah, and it's not like you didn't expect good play from both teams here, as Iowa Central does come in ranked 8th and Nayak 13. So you expect this coming in to be a really good matchup. Nayak coming out a little slow, regaining themselves in that third set and being able to win it. So I expect this fourth set to be even better.
Nayak are already coming out to a fast start with a quick first score.
Yep, the spike goes down there by Meister. Nayak does gain the 1-0 lead. Back to serve for Nayak is number 31, the unknowable player, as we do not have her on our rosters. Beeneman to Gobson. Gobson over to number 16. That was Swanson.
There's an error right there from Nayak.
Yeah, double hit they're going to call there for Nayak. That will be a point for the Tritons. They will tie it at 1. Stewart comes in for Beeneman. Expect Stewart to come in and make a big impact with those blocks she had in those first 2 sets. I think we got her, for 8? 8 maybe this game, unofficially?
Yeah.
O'Harthy's serve will go out of bounds. Beeneman comes in for her. Nayak is up 2-1. Back to serve for Nayak is number 11. That is Shelby Henson.
Bad communication there from Iowa Central, but
Yeah,
it was an awkward bounce.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they were trying to set something up as Finley was running up to the front row there, and the ball was going different ways than what they wanted it to. Henson back to serve again for Nayak. Meister sends it over. Finley to Godson. Godson all the way over to Finley again. Finley sending that one down with some authority. And it will drop for an Iowa Central point.
Nayak is really trying hard to neutralize. Who is that over there? I'm drawing a blank right here.
Johnson back to serve for the Tritons right now. Oh, Stewart throwing it down, using her height right there. I don't know if you could really call that a block. She kind of just went up there and threw it down. It will be a point for the Tritons.
And going back to what I was saying, they're really trying hard to neutralize Finley over there on that right far side.
Yeah, Finley is the kill leader right now for the Tritons.
Fast spike coming in, but went out of bounds.
Yep, Johnson back there to serve again for the Tritons. On the court right now is Johnson, Anderson, Beeneman, Santos, Finley, and Stewart. Johnson's serve will go into the net.
Plenty of serving errors tonight.
Yeah, I would say so. Looks like that's kind of been the weakness for both teams here tonight, as Meister's back to serve for Nayak. It does go to Anderson to Johnson. Johnson to Stewart. Stewart gets it over. Nice diving save there by Nayak. Anderson to Johnson. Johnson all the way over to Finley. Finley sending that down with some authority like she does all game.
It's whenever she jumps up and elevates for that, it seems like she's in the air for A minute.
It's almost like slow motion as she's up there. Finley is getting ready to serve here for the Tritons.
Poetry in action.
Finley's serve gets over. Goes to Meister. There they are with Nayak doing that little fake again. Anderson and Finley, a two-headed monster out there. As you see the second head of that monster, you see Finley in the point before, and you see Anderson out there, both of them doing what they do best. Point Tritons, Finley with the serve.
It was a good play for Anderson to identify the player that was sleeping, lacking right there.
Mm-hmm. Block attempt there by Stewart. It does go out of bounds off of her. That will be a point Nayak, making the score 6-5 for the Tritons. Now this fourth set is probably the biggest set of them all because, you know, if Iowa Central does win, they go home conference champs in this set. But Nayak wins, you're 2-2 here. And, you know, that would be a big thing for Nayak after those first two sets. They come out and didn't really look like themselves as they've shown us here in this fourth set and in the third one as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Tessa back to serve for Nayak. Serve is over. Hits to Bieneman. Bieneman to Johnson. Johnson to Santo. Meister with a nice save there. Bieneman with another diving save on her night. Oh.
Just the right hit for Nayak right
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were kind of lucky that the Tritons were kind of fumbling around out there on defense. They were able to drop in and get the point. Tessa back to serve again for Nayak. There's that serve error again you saw in the third set. Coming to cost Nayak a point there. George checks in for Stewart. Sydney George back to serve for the Tritons. Nayak really looks like a more sound team in these last couple of sets. What do you think that really has to? What is playing the factor in that? Should I say?
I think they're neutralizing the crowd. Like they're not letting him get to him as much, and they're getting their own crowd into it.
Yep. O'Harthy with a nice kill there. That will get a point for the Tritons. Finley back to serve for Iowa Central. Or, excuse me, that is Gosson just checking into the game for Iowa Central. She does go in for Santos. Gosson's serve gets over. Meister trying to get it over for Nayak there. Finley with a nice save. Gets Gobson. Finley sends it over. Finley with another save. Anderson trying to get it over. Anderson with the block attempt there. It will go over off of. Wow. What a
sequence of events.
Yeah, wow. Nice play by number 16 there. That was that was Easton Swanson for Iowa Central.
Looks like they're cleaning up a sweat spot.
Yeah, it looks like they got some sweat out there. They're cleaning up. You don't really want anybody getting hurt out there.
Exactly. Never want that for anybody, including your opponent.
Finley to Gobson. Gobson all the way over to Anderson. Looks like they're going to get a double hit called on Iowa Central there. It will be a point Nayak. Back to serve for the Trojans is number 10, Becca Steffen.
And we're all tied up at 9.
Finley to Gobson. Gobson to Anderson. Anderson doesn't quite get it over. It will go in a net point Nayak. They will regain the lead.
I didn't understand the movement right there. Like when the Iowa Central players had to go across court and set that up.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been a part for miscommunication there for the Tritons. Anderson really didn't want to look like she was didn't want to go all the way over cross court. Oh, nice
hit.
save, like right off the top part of her hand right there. That was number 11, excuse me, Shelby Henson for Nayak that saved that right off her hand, but it just went out of bounds. Anderson back to serve for the Tritons. Anderson to Swanson. Gosson gets it over.
Looked like Anderson could have just let that one go out.
Yeah. Beaneman with another nice save. Gosson gets it over. And it will drop out of bounds for a Nayak point. Number 31 for Nayak back to serve right now.
Here comes the crowd.
Yeah, you can feel them under us again, getting pumped up. Beaneman to Gobson. Gobson to O'Harthy. O'Harthy gets it over. Oh, nobody in the back corner right there for the Tritons as Nayak will get another point. Timeout Tritons here. It looks like Nayak's starting to gain a little momentum. A good timeout call here for the Tritons. What do you think they're going over in the timeout right now?
You know, I think they're just going to try to go back to what their game plan was. And that's setting the ball up for either Anderson or Finley or even getting Stewart to be able to hit the ball, you know, spike it in. But if I'm Nayak right now, I got to continue the momentum. You know, I keep the pressure on the neck, you know.
Yeah, Nayak's really looked like a different team, should we say, in the third and fourth set for the Tritons, like that are going up against the Tritons right now. Out there for the Tritons is Anderson, Beaneman, Swanson, Finley, O'Harthy, and Gobson.
Nayak out of the timeout. They'll be serving too.
Yeah, expect Nayak to still try to gain on their momentum, but the Tritons got to stop it here. So serve hits the net. Beaneman to Gosson. Gosson over to Finley. Finley sending it down with some authority to get the Tritons right back in that, and the crowd absolutely loved that.
Going back to their game plan like they had it originally. Get Finley the ball.
Beaneman back to serve. Out there right now for his Beaneman, Anderson, Gobson, Finley, Stewart, and Swanson for the Tritons. Nice block there by Stewart. Stewart able to block it and realize it didn't quite get over, so she sent it back over herself and is able to drop in for a point for the Tritons.
Great awareness right there.
Yeah, very, very good awareness. Beaneman with the serve again. Nayak trying to do their little sneaky stuff again. Point Nayak there off the block attempt. It was tipped.
Nayak leading 13-12.
Nayak with the serve. That is Shelby Henson back there to serve for Nayak.
Here comes that crowd rallying behind Iowa Central.
Finley to Godson. Godson over to Swanson. Swanson sends it over. Nice block attempt by Swanson and Stewart, and it will land in the Triton team, and those two absolutely loved that as the crowd got pumped up for that as well.
They need plays like that to get the momentum going on their side. Crowd into it, and the players believing in it.
Oh, yeah. Checking in for Swanson is number 20 for Iowa Central. That is Alicia Johnson. She is back to serve. Johnson serve hits the net. Nayak gets it over. Anderson to Johnson. Johnson over to Finley. Finley will drop after the block attempt by Nayak. Iowa Central is back in the lead in this set. 14-13. Johnson back to serve for the Tritons.
Good communication there with Iowa Central.
Johnson serve will go in the net to tie stuff up at 14. I mean, you hate to see it because it seems like serve errors for both teams have been playing a big factor in the last two sets. So, I mean, maybe whoever overcomes that will maybe become the winner of this set, but as you just see it again, you know.
It honestly feels like cheap, dirty points for the other team.
Yeah,
you know?
it really is.
And it's no one else to blame but the person serving.
Yeah. Oh, nice block attempt by Iowa Central. Will drop for a Nayak point. Substitution for Nayak. Tessa is checking in, and she will serve for Nayak. Her serve will go into the net, as we said over and over again this game.
I mean,
Gives Iowa Central the lead 16-15.
you guys don't see it, but we are face palming in the booth.
Yes. I mean, it seems like these serve errors have been a big factor right now for both teams, as Sydney George is back to serve for the Tritons. Her serve gets over. It will be out of bounds, a Triton point right there.
17-15, Iowa Central.
George with another serve. Meister able to keep that in, and it will be a point for Nayak. Back to serve for Nayak is number 2, Bree Powers. Seems like Bree Powers just came in to serve for Nayak a lot off of these points they've gotten. Finley to Johnson. Johnson to Santos. Santos gets that in, and it will be a point for the Tritons.
It was a close call right there, but I thought it was the right call by that line judge.
It's kind of hard for me to see that corner with us being up here in the booth, but I'm glad you saw it. Gosson checks in for Santos, and Swanson will come in for Johnson. Gosson back to serve right now for the Tritons.
Comes a timeout.
Yeah, good timeout call there by Nayak. What do you think they're trying to talk about in the timeout right now?
They got to find a way to regain possession and get a stop to the mental errors. You know, these serving errors are, what should I say, fundamentally, you know, stuff that you should be not struggling with. And they've been struggling with that all game. Iowa Central right now.
The two student sections are going at each other. I think we just saw two kids do backflips out here, for a kid from Nayak and a kid from Iowa Central. No, there goes another one.
We weren't lying about how hyped this crowd is.
Yes, both teams' crowds are hyped for this. It is a conference championship game. Godson back to serve for the Tritons. Godson to Bieneman. Bieneman over to Anderson. Anderson trying to tip it over, and it will drop. Nice awareness by Anderson right there to see that the defense was playing back and able to tip it right over.
I think this is the most separation between the teams in this set, with Iowa Central leading by 3 now.
Especially in the last 2 sets.
Yes.
Powers gets it over,
Ooh.
and it will go off. I mean, they tried blocking it right there, and then it does go off of O'Harthy's arm, and it will drop for a point for Nayak. Back to serve for Nayak is number 10, Becca Steffen. Steffen's serve gets over, finds Finley.
Like missing Chew.
Anderson. Oh, Finley with a nice save there to Gobson. Gobson to Anderson. Anderson trying to tip it over again. Finley with another save. Gobson over to Swanson. Swanson gets it over.
Back and forth.
Bieneman to Gobson. Gobson sending it over, trying to get into one of those back corners. Gobson to Bieneman. Bieneman to Anderson. Anderson is blocked at the net. What a turn of events there. That thing is going. This crowd is living up to the hype, and they are loving it.
High intense possession right there.
I think at one point that could have kept going. I'd be standing up here in the booth, ready to yell and get all excited up here. I mean, the crowd is even like getting to us a little bit because I'm just as pumped as much as this crowd is here.
For sure. Oh, there seems to be some discussion.
Looks like they're going to have some discussion over here by the officials as Gobson gets her shoe back on. She was the one that lost her shoe out there.
We can only speculate what the communication could be about.
Yeah, I don't really expect them to overturn anything here, so they might just be talking about what's going on, what each of them are seeing out there. So Meister and Finley chatting it up right there at the net.
Probably both teams' best players.
Yeah.
talking right there.
Oh, they're both talking to the ref. Stefan back to serve for the Trojans right now. It is 19-18 for Iowa Central. The crowd is standing up. Everybody is loving this.
We're even standing in the booth.
Swanson just gets that over. Godson to Bieneman. Bieneman to Finley. Finley gets it over. That will drop for Iowa Central. It is 20-18 right now for Iowa Central.
The crowd is electric. We see hoodies flying
Yeah,
up.
there's everything right now in this crowd right now for Iowa Central. Meister gets it over. Anderson saves it. Anderson to Godson. Godson to Finley. Finley's blocked at the net. It will drop for a Nayak point. 2019 for Nayak. Nayak is down, excuse me. It is 2019 for Iowa Central. Nayak with the serve. It does get over. Bieneman to Godson. Godson to Finley. Finley! Oh, just out of bounds on this close side right here.
Right play, wrong
Yeah,
result.
wrong result.
She knows what she's doing out there.
Bieneman to Godson. Godson back to Finley. Finley tipping it over, and it will drop. Miscommunication right there by Nayak.
Mental errors right there. Finley in those last 3 possessions, and when she hit it really hard. So she came out of her bag of tricks and went super soft and lofted it over, and none of the Nayak.
Yeah, I think
defenders
you're really
sucked it
seeing
up.
Iowa Central go to Finley right here because the last three times they had the ball, they've had Finley send it over for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it will go out of bounds for a Triton point. 22-20 is the score for Iowa Central right now. Bieneman back to serve for the Tritons. Another discussion by the officials here. I think they're going to question if that was tipped. It was a close call in the end, but I couldn't really tell from up here if it was tipped or not. They are going to stick with the point for the Tritons, and the crowd absolutely loves that.
I didn't think it was tipped. My question was if it was in bounds or not.
Bieneman serve gets over. Powers to Stefan. Stefan trying to send it over. It is blocked at the net by Finley again. Finley's been doing it all game. I think we got her, 9 blocks so far in this match total.
Was that Finley or was that Stewart?
Was it Stewart? I couldn't tell. I think it might have been Stewart.
Stewart doing what she does best.
Yeah, Stewart with 9 blocks in the game today. Timeout by Nayak. What does Nayak got to do right here to stop the momentum?
Oh, they got to do a lot of things. They have to get aggressive, and they have to be prepared what Finley's going to do. Because Iowa Central is doing what I thought they were going to do. They're going to get Finley the ball. And Finley's being so unpredictable of her hits. Nayak is on their heels. So what I think they need to do is just get ready to be in front of her, and for the people in the back, get ready to hit it and reserve it up.
On the court right now for the Tritons is Bieneman, Anderson, Godson, Stewart, Finley, and Swanson. Bieneman is back to serve. Bieneman's serve gets over. Stefan to Meister. Meister, that is out of bounds. It will be a Triton point. This is match point for the Tritons as they are up 24-20 right now. Bieneman back to serve.
The crowd is electric right now. They're getting up on their seats.
Everybody's got their phone out recording this. See if the Tritons can win a conference championship here. And they do it. They do it. The Tritons are conference champs. 25-20 in the 4th set right here for the Tritons.
Impressive rallying in that last set by Iowa Central.
A really impressive rally by the Iowa Central Tritons in that set. The Tritons do win it over Nayak 3-1. Sean, what did you see from the Tritons today?
There was their high points and there was their low points. High points being that first and second set. They were coming out, beating on the opposing team, with riding the crowd, and doing what they know best is by getting Finley, Anderson, and them the ball. And their low points were that second to last final set. They had no answer to Nayak, and Nayak started getting up after their slow start and started momentum and rallying. In that last set, both teams played really strong, but Iowa Central prevailed in that last set, scoring five straight points, and it was very impressive.
Yeah, Iowa Central does win the match here 3-1 over Nayak. They are conference champs, and it was on sophomore night. Both teams, I think, will be a really tough out in the regionals as regionals play is coming up. Nayak showing to come over adversity here, and those going down 2-0 real early.
Even though like you said, Nayak, even though they lost, they could take away some good things away from them. They are a good club.
Yeah, and I have to say they're really good too. Again, Tritons did win 3-1 today over Nayak for a conference championship. I'm Casey. I'm joined here by Sean, and that will do it for us on the Triton Nation Network. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As, again, I will say Iowa Central did win 3-1 over Nayak for a conference championship. Thank you.